time Jack had to fight someone from Africa, he's so flamed.
Yes, anyone from Africa knocks him out. Why is it? Think about it. Why is it the first place they sent Samurai Jack to go train was Africa? They didn't send him to the South Lakes. They didn't send him to he started in Africa. Because Samurai Jack sent you that continent.
What up, everybody?
Yeah, hey everybody, you're watching the Nerdgasm podcast. I don't get Superman. For me, Superman's worse. And I'm not talking about in this movie or in the...
Is Appa the Chewie of the Avatar group?
Yes, he is!
Okay, I'll behave. Okay.
Yeah. So Samurai Jack. Let's talk about somebody that that actually does stoicism really well. I like if you want to talk about a stoic, interesting character. I think Jack. Also, like one thing that I found funny is that they call him Jack.
Because they call him Jack.
Yeah, I was just like that. Like somebody was like, that's not Jack. It's not his name, right?
That's not his name.
Yeah, that's not his name. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you actually ever hear his name?
No, you don't.
We continue. I have a serious question to ask.
Aye.
Jack almost kills Aku in so many episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Why did he have to go to the past where he almost killed Aku anyway to defeat him? What's the difference?
The thing is that you got to remember it's the time thing. Jack doesn't want to defeat Aku in the future because it doesn't change the past and what happened. It doesn't change his whole kingdom being destroyed. Okay. So if he goes back to when his people are still alive, they can still rebuild and everything, and he can put back everything as it was.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I would have preferred, like, one thing I was hoping Genndy was going to do is that he would twist the whole thing entirely and just have Jack defeat Aku in the future and try and make it a message about how maybe you can't change the past, but you can change the future type thing. I was hoping for something like that personally, but I get it. It's in the theme song. It's the whole point, and that's why he has to go back into the past to make sure that he undoes everything that Aku has done. Because remember, Aku ruined the planet. Like, there's intergalactic space aliens, there's bounty hunters and criminals and murderers of all kinds.
I love Samurai Jack, but I do think at some point we do need to talk about how the vision of the first, let's say, 4 seasons was very airtight. I think when you're watching the show, it seems like you know how Genndy wants to end the show. But then when you get to season 5, you're like, yo, did this guy just scrap everything and start afresh? Because it felt like a completely different show.
Because there were so many retcons, it's unbearable.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
The only retcon that sticks out in my mind, I guess, is the human flesh.
The human flesh?
Oh, like the robots in the flesh.
No, like when I guess that's the only retcon I think.
Remember in episode 1 of season 5, Jack kills his first human.
Yes.
But if you've watched the show, you're like, yo, Jack's been killing people.
He's been killing machines. They've always given that implied
I think
violence.
The only time you can say maybe he killed people, and I don't know, they leave it vague unless you look at it frame by frame, is the bounty hunter episode where that princess tries to get all these bounty hunters together, and it's just like. Well, we don't see no bodies.
No, he threw that Russian guy
he killed all of them.
Bombs. He died.
He killed all of them. He killed the African guy.
He killed him.
Yeah, he killed the African guy. The cats. He killed the guy who came out of the snow. He killed everybody.
He killed him.
Wait,
Jack's been killing people. Why you guys act like Samurai Jack's not a murderer?
No, he did. Wait,
he blew up the ninja guy.
But like the thing is, you have to remember, in like those seasons specifically, there's stuff that happens to people that should kill them and it doesn't kill them. Like people get exploded and they seem to make it just fine. So I don't know.
Okay,
but I think that's like the only thing that I can say definitively where yeah, Jack, if you want to have him to say he has a body count, there's at least 4 people you can make an argument for.
No, I am definitely saying Jack has a body count, and
Yeah.
He has
it's
at
a
least
retcon.
10. At
It's a
least 10.
retcon, bro.
At least 10 people.
No, the
At
more
least
you
10
think about it, the more it's inferred. The more these bad guys are inferred that they're dead. And then the only time you see that they're machines, some of them you find that they're machines. But look at, you know, the episode where he snapped.
Oh,
Yes,
who
yes.
else wants some?
Yeah, who else wants up?
Yeah.
I mean, that arrogant guy's like, this will be the easiest Google Plex I've ever made in my life. That guy was not a robot, and he got.
I don't
he was
remember.
Nah,
And
Jack
also,
just kicks him over the wall
remember
though.
that
Also,
episode.
remember when Jack gets the Aku infection, and then
Yeah.
they put him in the tub,
Oh,
and then the frog people are trying to stop him. Jack kind of murks a few of those frog people.
well, that's not him. That's Aku.
No, when he murks them, though.
It's still
You
Jack.
know what? Do you
No,
know?
that's Aku. It's a literal infection. He was
Dude,
turned
imagine,
into a
imagine
bird.
Imagine Vegeta kills people when it's in Majin Vegeta.
It's Vegeta.
It's still Vegeta. Bro.
No, but that's different. Martin Vegeta was a choice. Aku got sick and infected
No, but Jack was crying while he was murking them. He knew
Yeah,
what he
because
was
he
doing.
was not in
because he was
control of
acting out of
himself,
his
though.
own-
He was
But
not in
it's
control
still
of himself.
you. It's you.
Still you.
But I'm saying that's you being mind controlled.
Yeah.
That's like if Professor X made somebody do something even though they were conscious of it. It doesn't change the fact that maybe they were conscious of it, but they're not in control of their motor functions.
All I'm
Like
saying
that-
is, it's not okay. It's not first degree murder, but it's second.
But
It's not his fault.
let's explain.
You know who you guys are. You know who
Did
you
he
guys
not?
are. You
Did
are
he not
Tony
kill the
Stark.
African guy? Did he not kill the African guy?
He
Aboriginal.
did.
He did.
He killed him.
But guys, I just wanted to you're referring to my all-time favorite episode of Samurai Jack. The Aku infection is my favorite episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
And let me tell you why. It's all of us here are creative in some form or another, and we sometimes a creative person sends a coded message to us all, and I got a coded message from I think Genndy was talking to all of us in that episode when when Jack's parents inside him were busy consoling him and telling him that you're not alone, my son. We are here with you, and this is where we are going to make a stand against this coming darkness. And then he says the infamous line, "But I wasn't there for you." And then the father responds, "Nonsense. Aku's victories are not your failures. You have worked hard in inspiring hope for others, and each person sings the blessings to you." And I think when you look at somebody who's been trying to create his own comic company and is trying to work in that nice where you're sitting alone and you're wondering if it's worth it, and if you are
Right.
all this is really worth the effort that you're trying to put, and you see a message coming from that it's you're not alone, and
right.
the journey is arduous, and it's not rewarding for now and everything like that, but there are those who are inspired by the little that you've done so far, and each of them sends their blessings, and each of them is a reminder that you need to keep getting up and fighting against the oncoming darkness. And if someone who suffers from, everyone knows, okay, I'll give you my terrible backstory one day, where the depression and the anxiety and everything, and when you deal with all that crazy stuff and you need to push through your incoming issues, you find solace, a message coming from somebody like Genndy of all people, telling you through his story that, dude, keep fighting. It's one of those things that keeps me bringing it back to that makes that particular episode my favorite one of them all.
That's
There are others. There's a close second, which has absolutely nothing to do with Jack, but it's a close second. But we'll get back to that one. But that is my favorite one. I just wanted to highlight that while we're busy discussing the
Wow.
different things, that's
amazing.
it's the reason why, like, when I was at Geek Fest, the Comic Con last year, I took signatures of everybody I met on my poster.
Yes.
It's a reminder to keep fighting, because
Wow.
everybody saw my picture and said, "This is cool."
Yes,
Let's put
they
an
did.
autograph in it.
Everybody loved it. Everybody who signed, including me, loved that.
And it's literally at the base of my bed, because when I wake up, I see it. It's the thing that tells me, hey, you see those people? They believe in this idea. So, ain't no way we're giving up. So it's the inspiration. That's where it came from. Anyway, so
I just want to maintain that it's not Jack's fault. That's all I want to say. I'm his lawyer. I'm in the
Saying the
courtroom.
African guy was killed by sober Jack without any influence of anyone.
Okay, but he's an assassin. If we want to
Okay,
go there,
take-
I'm just saying.
That's
Yeah.
self-defense.
If we just
No,
look at
but
the
if,
Bounty
like-
Hunter episode, I won't even talk about Aku in fiction anymore.
Yeah.
If we just talk about the Bounty Hunter episode,
He
Samurai
murked,
Jack
he
murked.
murked like 5 people.
And he met them so quickly. In a drop of a
in less than like 10
drop
seconds.
of water.
Yeah.
In a drop of water.
No, that was hard. I felt bad for the bounty hunters because I'm
Wait,
like,
but-
hey, you guys.
But that's not even the worst retcon. For me, the worst retcon, and it strikes at the whole show changing direction, was the Blue Guardian.
Yeah.
The Blue
Yes.
Guardian
Yes.
was supposed
Oh
to
my
be
God.
the
Yes.
guy who
What?
gets you to time travel.
Yes.
Then when we watch the show, now Aku's daughter is the one that helps him. But I'm like, that's not the show.
Guardian, my man,
I
but
mean,
that's the man.
My man.
That
That's my
episode.
man.
That episode was a lesson to was telling the audience that yes, Jack is going to make it back.
Yes.
And then you even get the cool old Jack.
Yeah,
with
with
the
the
crown.
horse, with
So-
the crown.
There's actually not a fan comic. There's actually a comic that was put out by, I think it's either what's the other company besides Image? I think was it IDW? Maybe it was IDW or Boom or something like that. Anyway, there is a comic where they recap all of the, like they have it where it's actually old Jack, and they do the thing that I was hoping that they were going to do, where they keep all the adventures canon, they keep all of it canon, and Jack finally says that I can't go back to the past, so I have to defeat Aku here.
Now.
It's about the future now. It's about saving the future.
And then you see, that's why I saw Aku with Jack with the crown and everything. Was for me, it was symbolic to say he defeats Aku in the future.
Yes.
Mm,
He basically saves the world, becomes the king of that world,
mm.
and then he says, "Okay, you all are safe now. I need
But
to go
also-
back and take care of business in the past."
But also, I think what would have made it even more interesting is, yes, you do kill Aku, but you still have to kill all of his followers. Because all those scars that he has, there's no way that it's just scars from Aku. He must have fought all other secret cults.
But let's think about this. Anybody who fights Jack, anybody, like, I think there needs to be a point where people, I don't understand why bounty hunters take the job. This guy fights a demon with a sword and flip-flops.
Mm.
Like, just a sword and flip. Anybody who tries to do anything to this, why?
But there's
Like,
only
I don't understand.
there's only 3 times where Jack really struggled. Nah? The
Yeah.
first time, it was when he was fighting with those bounty hunters that looked like monkeys. You remember those
The
guys?
Imakande.
The
The
Imakande, they look like
Imakande.
lions.
You cannot forget the Imakande.
Dog, like Jack actually didn't win. Those guys just stopped.
Yeah.
No, they
yeah.
enjoyed the hunt. It was like, this is the best hunt I've ever had.
Yeah.
According to our traditions, if the biggest fight of its life, we set it free.
Bro, like that.
Yeah.
Jack struggled.
But that's the thing that you kind of get confused on the power scaling of Samurai Jack sometimes, because I'm like, I've seen you, like, you fight a coup. Like before we even
but
get to
those-
the other
but
guys.
but those
the
dudes, bro.
Imakande.
What do the Imakandi have that Aku
No,
doesn't?
They are the
Nah,
greatest
no,
hunters in the
those guys
universe.
were highly trained.
They-
Even Aku was like, you
Aku
guys
can
are the shit.
shapeshift and has laser eyes, my guy.
No,
Laser
but you
eyes.
see, that sword is forged straight to kill Aku. The Imakandi dog.
But I'm saying, look, if I have a sword and you have 50 other weapons and I still beat you, what does that say about me as a warrior?
No,
Like,
but it also showed like time and time again, like Aku's not a great fighter.
Yes.
He has immense power.
Yes.
But he doesn't. He's not like a
He's-
warrior.
but he doesn't have to be.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be. But the Imakandi, because they are warriors,
Yeah, they're warriors
they
with
can defeat
experience.
Jack.
Yes.
But like, also,
for me, it's like a rock paper scissors type of thing.
Right.
Right.
okay.
But
Right.
also, I want to.
Imakandi trumps Jack.
I
Jack
just want to.
trumps
I
Aku.
ju-
Aku trumps Imakandi.
I
It's
just wanna-
just the way it is.
Yeah.
I just want to continue. So I said 3, right? The second one is those Egyptian thingies.
Oh yeah,
The Warriors of Set.
Minions of Set. That one I have no
Yes.
excuse for.
Fire.
That one I was just like,
Yo, those niggas, dog. Like, nigga couldn't even breathe.
You know what? I'm not trying to,
It's the way he figured it out. The Minions of Set.
Yeah.
Boom.
I'm not gonna lie. Every time Jack had to fight someone from Africa, he's so flamed.
Yes. Anyone from Africa cuts him out. Why is it? They think about it. Why is it the first place they sent Samurai Jack to go train was Africa? They didn't send him to the South Lakes. They didn't send him to he started in Africa. But Samurai Jack sent you that continent. Mm-mm.
I had the blackest teacher ever. Yo. Why do you think we need an African version of Samurai Jack? That's what Samurai Jack was telling us.
And
You know why I said that? Because blue guy was black. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Blue guy
Anyone.
was black.
No, that was straight Morpheus.
That was straight
That
up.
was straight.
Every time Samurai Jack saw a black person, it was late.
It was KO.
look, he only defeated the African bounty hunter. That's it. And he was
When the Aborigine, they're gonna come for you in the comments.
Yeah. Actually,
very
from Australia.
upset.
Let's
He
go
was-
say this.
he was trained by Zulu warriors, by the way. You know that.
Yeah.
I'm saying, Mr. Extrodin, my chief, they're gonna come for you in the comment section. The Aboriginal people are not gonna be happy with you.
Yeah, no. So the bounty hunter was from Australia, right?
Yeah.
Wait, who's gonna come after me? What did I say now?
How
He
you're,
said the
you're saying that
yeah.
you're saying that the bounty hunter that Jack bodied was from Africa. He's from Australia.
He's from Australia.
Yeah, he's from Australia. He's Aboriginal.
The guy with the
Yeah.
flute.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
you listen to his soundtrack, it's
Yes.
the outback of Australia and all of that.
Oh,
There's-
my apologies. I genuinely thought. I mean, Pila and I were calling him the African guy all along.
Where
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know, if you historically speaking, apparently Africans went
technically we are all
down
from Africa,
there.
but then
Oh.
But you know what? You guys were right, because if he was truly African, Jack would have lost. No, you guys are right.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Pardon
right.
my apologies for.
No, his blood was diluted. It wasn't strong enough.
I know it didn't. Hey, but you guys killed me, man. Yo.
Yeah.
The third one, the third one is the Blue Guardian, right? It's the Blue Guardian. So
Hey, Blue Guardian.
Blue Guardian.
You, I had never been so scared. I had never been so
it was
scared for
actually
Jack in
blue.
my
I think
life.
it's the lighting. I don't think it was actually blue. It's the lighting, because Jack was way white.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was in the dark. And all
Look,
of that.
I mean,
No,
if you look at
My
that fighting
man.
sequence, that fight sequence with the blue guy, it was so epic. It starts with two samurais sword style. Jack sees that, oh, okay, he can't win sword versus sword. He picks up a spear. They're like, oh, I see a spear. I want to use those size. And then he manages to disarm him. You're thinking, yes, he's got a chance. He grabs it. Ka!
Yeah.
No, you know when I knew it was over? You know when I knew it was over in that fight? 2 times. The first time when he pulls out a gun, and I was just like, chief. Yeah.
Oh.
And then the second time when he eats the shield, I was like, it's over.
Yeah.
Anybody who eats your shield, my guy, it's over.
And how did he survive those 3 missiles? In your credit, of people surviving things they should not survive.
Yo,
That
man.
guy took 3.
Dude,
He fired 3
You ruined my
rockets.
favorite suit,
Jack.
man.
And then
Like you see, after he messed up the suit, it was over, dog.
it was over. It had to take divine intervention to say, whoa, hold on.
That was some plot armor. Like that's when you know Jack was the main character of the show.
Guy, you need
I
to
just
take.
wanna,
He needs
I
to
just wanna
survive.
mention,
Why?
just
He's
wanna
the one.
mention- I just want to mention one of my favorite episodes ever. I have a lot, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
One of my favorite is, which one should I mention? Okay, I'll mention this one, where there's this small old guy who needs help from Samurai Jack, only to find out that it was Aku all along.
Yes,
Like,
that-
Oh,
the title.
No, but like the thing is with that episode, who didn't know that was a coup?
Oh no!
we thought Jack didn't know all along because we knew.
Theoretically speaking, no,
I was screaming at the screen. I was screaming as a
we
kid.
eventually saw that it was Aku because the reflection showed him.
On the
Yeah,
water.
Dude,
Water, yeah.
the flaming eyebrows. That was a straight giveaway. I was like, Jack, who else do you know has big red flaming eyebrows?
But what I like about that is that that episode showed the character development from Jack because he saw through his tricks.
Yeah.
Remember that this was the second time Aku tried something a stunt like that. The first time was when he disguised himself as that woman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the warrior
They
woman.
went into those camera.
I didn't see that coming. I was tricked too.
Everybody was. We saw
No,
that.
Aku got me there. I'm not even
We
gonna
got
lie.
us there.
Yeah.
And you could see. And what I like about Aku is that he knows when he's won. He knows when to leave. He's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I won now. Like, I'll fight you next
But-
time. Bye.
I honestly feel like Aku is always bored, guys. Like he always comes.
Mm.
He always comes at the most random times to mess up with Jack. Like I feel like this guy is bored out of his mind because he already won. He already conquered the world. But there's nothing more exciting to do. So let me just torture this guy.
And I mean, you know what I like about Aku is that he's the most comedic relief character in the entire thing. He is the main antagonist. He is the villain. He's the embodiment of pure evil. His name literally means evil in Japanese. And
Doesn't it mean demon?
no,
I think it's
Aku,
demon.
Aku means evil.
Akuma is demon.
Akuma
Aku
is
is evil.
Oh,
Aku
okay.
is demon. I learned that from
Street Fighter.
Oh, Street Fighter. I
Yeah.
learned that from Rurouni Kenshin
Oh,
because of the Shishangumi's motto, Akusok-zan. So I even knew how to draw it.
one of my favorite episodes, actually, I'll mention two up top, but one of my favorite episodes is the Jump Good episode.
Yeah.
I really like the Jump. Like, talk about just being a dick. Talk about just being like, talk about just like there's being evil and then there's being petty. Because he just took that portal and he was like, oh, you can't catch it.
Another
But
pace.
also, that's a retcon because if Jack learned how to jump good, does it mean that he jumped into the portal?
Yeah, I get what you
No, it's-
mean. But
No, you know what happened is Jack did what he does all the time because they needed to keep the show going. If there's one criticism, I guess, is that whenever Jack has an opportunity, a legitimate opportunity, he always does something that he's not like. Everybody remembers screaming at the screen, dude, the portal is in front of you, run. Why are you walking right now? You know Aku's around the corner. Like, you know he's good.
Oh, no, that one is okay. The one that pissed me off the most was with the Shaolin monks.
Yeah, I was gonna
There
get
was
there.
no Aku.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the Tien lookalikes.
yeah.
Yes, I mean they offered themselves to go fight to the death so that you have a chance to go back in time
Yeah.
to save everyone.
Yeah. I
And
love
what do
those
you
guys,
do?
man. I love
You
those
go
guys.
back. That's why I agreed with the blue guy. After that stunt, I knew he wasn't ready. There is no way.
Yeah.
You are not. There is no way that you are doing some Captain America Infinity War bullshit. That's exactly what it is.
No, but I love Jump Good. Jump Good was a fantastic episode, and
You
and
can
I love
fly?
it. Yeah, no,
Jump
Jump Good.
But it was a horrible ending to me. Yes, jump good. Yes, it's funny, but why end it there? Did you jump inside or what?
I know it's-
They needed another season.
My
Mr.
head
Extrodin.
my head canon says that he crashed the portal just before he died. It's like, oh.
Yeah, you crash the portal and I'll spy you again, samurai. And Luke flies off.
You know, that dialogue when they had the duel was one of my favorite dialogues. Like, Aku, yes, Samurai Jack, it is I.
Oh, that's the episode I was
Yeah,
gonna
I'll
mention.
put the thing away, Jack.
That's the episode I was gonna mention.
I knew you knew that you would cheat, so
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's-
Jack.
I love that.
episode.
And Jack
I was
versus-
gonna say that one, but
Yeah, I love that's one of my favorite episodes. as well.
I knew that you knew that I knew that you knew that you knew that you would lie.
So I hit fake swords all over everywhere.
No, the best part of that episode for me is like, what's this? When Aku comes in and he's like, Jack, we all know what's gonna happen.
Swing
You
your
swing your sword,
fly
and I'll
away,
say,
probably say something like-
I'll be back, samurai.
And
It's
then you
like,
fly
do
off
not
with
trick
your
me,
eyes.
Aku.
No, wait.
I'll be back, samurai.
Right, you see.
You know who I wish we could have coffee one day? Mojo Jojo and Aku, bro.
Yeah, dog.
Nah, Mojo Jojo's so beneath Aku. Come on.
Beneath his notice.
I guess.
Nah, Aku would kill Mojo Jojo. Like, Mojo Jojo would say one thing and Aku would just be like, squish.
We also can you also admire the way that Aku, even in his humorous evilness, he's still evil. You don't see him being forgiving and anything. Remember that time he fought against that guy with the essence? What's his name?
Oh, Demongo.
The Mongan is like,
Demongo!
you have failed me, Demongo. Oh, please, master, forgive me. And it's like, no.
Okay, guys, there's an important scene that I want to mention, guys.
Yeah.
Catch you again! Catch you again! Do you guys remember that part?
Which one is that?
So what happened was, Zeus, Hades, and Hades were fighting against the big Aku, like that was outer space, right?
Yeah.
So a tiny portion of Aku landed,
Oh, yeah. That's
and then
the
there was a
movie.
chicken.
That's the movie.
No, it's not the movie. I think it's like
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Origins
it's
of
a
Aku.
2-part. Yeah, Birth
Yeah.
of Evil.
It was a 2-part. Origins of
Oh,
so there was a chicken. There was an
A dog.
Asian guy. Huh?
It was a dog.
Wasn't it a chicken?
It was a dog that got eaten by Aku.
So that guy's trying to look for the
dog.
and he can't find it. And the only thing he's mentioning is his name, bro.
And then you just see a leash.
You guys
oh,
are cold,
I
bro.
remember that.
You guys are cold, bro. Yo.
I'm just imagining Extrodin laughing at this dude while he's having a mental breakdown.
Watching that his dog got eaten by toxic ooze.
Yo, bro, that
But
scene
also-
was intense, and you were supposed to feel sorry for this guy, but the way he was crying.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, Samurai Jack was actually so crazy because, like, I mean, imagine watching Samurai Jack in between something like Foster's Home for Imaginary Kids,
Yeah.
and like I don't know,
Oh, like Kids Next Door.
Kids Next Door. Like,
Yeah.
There's a
Aku's
reason
killing
why.
people, setting villages on fire.
Hey,
You literally like
He's torturing people.
He's
He's torturing people. Like,
But it's also a reason why it was written under Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but for us, we saw that ish
We
in the day,
also-
bro.
What?
10 o'clock in the
Bro,
day, I can watch it.
That's the luckiest. That's the lucky thing about us as kids living in Africa. They just see cartoons, Bariki Popo,
Yeah.
and then there we are. We are watching Samurai
like, you know how I got to watch Rurouni Kenshin?
Yeah.
It was like in the DVD section next to like SpongeBob or something like that.
Bruh.
And I just rented this thing and I was just like, oh, this
Wow.
looks cool.
That's true.
Then I start seeing assassins and
Yeah.
people on fire and
Ninja
You know-
Scroll, Ghost in the Shell. They were next to like your Jimmy Neutron.
This is obviously I cannot go a second without talking about Dragon Ball, but this is why when Boo eventually showed up, I was like, Boo, what are you doing? Because Aku was Boo, but effective.
Yes.
Aku could do everything Majin Buu could do, but he did it right. I was like,
And he had a motive.
he had a motive. He could multiply. He could regenerate. He was murdering
Right.
people. He basically took care of Earth in one day. That's why I was even like, why is Majin Buu wasting time?
You know.
Aku would never let this stand. Actually, if anyone's watching this from Death Battle, please, Aku versus Majin Buu, who would win? Please let me know. Please
You know
let
what?
me
That we need to make this a clip for our TikTok and then make it a trend. And then
Aku
You
versus
get- you
Majin
get-
Buu.
Aku.
I Death Battle for me is you know because
It's biased, I know. I mean,
no,
Or
I
even
like,
just comment Aku versus Majin Buu. Who
Yeah.
do you
yeah
think
yeah
would
yeah.
win?
Because after what they did with Majin Buu and Kirby and Gara and Toph specifically, I was just like, you guys don't know what you're doing. You guys don't know what you're doing.
How? Gara of the Sand lost to Toph?
How?
Oh wait,
Like even with their own
let's not even
fight,
go
they
that far.
contradict their.
Let's not go to that ridiculous level. How can anyone explain to me how James Bond would manage to beat John Wick?
Yeah, I don't see it.
Thank you.
I don't see it
Especially
happening.
after the last one. Woo! John Wick is crazy.
Hi, John Wick is a video game character, my guy.
There's a lot of plot armor, guys. There's a lot of times where I saw that John Wick could have died. Like in almost every movie.
The second time he got pushed down those
So many
stairs.
times that he should have died.
Anyway, back to the actual Jack.
Yes.
Yeah, back to actual Jack. Another episode that we need to mention, I think, since we're talking Birth of Evil, we need to talk about Samurai Jack's father.
Oh,
and
that is, like I said, that is a close second favorite of mine. Samuel Jack's father shows his. I wanted to say, if they made a live action version of Samurai Jack, they needed to get the guy who played the Scorpion from that horrible movie. We shall not name it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because he embodies that spirit of the samurai. You know, he's like Bushido is like when they thought Bushido, they thought of this man.
Yeah, he should basically be the new Hattori Hanzo, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, because wow, the way he was talking.
Since Sonichiba died, we don't have another Sonichiba, so he could be the best Sonichiba, the next Sonichiba. Sorry.
Even, I wanted to explain in that episode when his wife was busy arguing with his wife about why should it be him as the emperor that should go and take care of this evil threat and everything. And the way he responds is like, it's as emperor, it is my duty to secure the safety of my people. And then she says, what about your family? Do you not have a higher calling and duty to them? And his response was, do not speak such nonsense. You are most important.
Right.
But the people out there are also my family. I
Right.
must go. I was like,
No,
That's some Hokage
yes.
type of
No, you see where Jack gets it from, like his selflessness, because like that's a big theme. Like one thing that I want to thank Genndy for, and Genndy, if you ever watch this, thank you for Battle Through Time. Thank you. You know why? Because thank you for that secret ending. Because I'm tired of Jack getting screwed every time he does something good. Then there's another thing that must come, and then it must just ruin whatever he's doing, and he must just go walk into the distance because he did this good thing. It's just like, well, give the guy something. Jesus.
give him some hope.
But here's the thing. All the things that he has done, they don't matter because he went to the past and fixed everything. So why bother going back and helping someone if you know that you can just go back to the past and change it? Like
it's the Captain
It's time.
America
It's time
syndrome.
travel. It's time travel.
We don't make that call. Yes, you do.
But I think he genuinely was having an internal contemplation of whether to send Jack back in time. Because when you watch season 5, it seems like it's a bit messy. Like you can tell the creator of the show is not sure which direction to take the show.
Yeah.
Season 5. Season 5 was for me as Genndy battling under pressure.
Yeah. It felt forced, man. Like just finish it because fans are.
The last episode is like the weirdest episode. Everything happens so quickly.
Yeah.
It's so pushed. It's
I love season 5. I do. I think it was really cool. I liked seeing PTSD Samurai Jack. I thought that was interesting. And also I like the development of Ashi because Samurai Jack is a very simple concept of a show. It's good, pure evil. He's pure good guy, and Ashi is the pure evil that goes to the pure good.
Look,
like
Jack,
I like that.
Aku is black. It's clear as daylight.
It's clear as daylight.
Scaramouche, baby.
Yeah, Scaramouche is also fun. But yeah, there is a lot of stuff in season 5 where it's just like, the writing's not so strong here. If Jack could have done this, why didn't he do this earlier?
Okay, guys.
And then also, like, we get to the end of the episode, and one of my biggest issues is that there were a lot of people who were like, it's good Ashi's dead, good. And it's just like, First off and foremost, relax, Edgelord, Jesus, like. And then second of all, Genndy, like that was to me the most forced moment in the entire season 5 because I was just like, you have them go up until the point where they're at the wedding and then she disappears. Like for me, I was just like, first of all, it makes sense.
I personally, I think it's Aku's final FU.
Yeah, but I'm saying it doesn't
I
make
think
sense.
it was like he held on long enough. Like I'm gonna save it this because this will traumatize him for the rest of his days.
Yeah, but I
But
like,
even Genndy, I feel like Genndy.
They just didn't want the fans to say you're having a kid with Aku. You're gonna have a kid with Aku.
Yeah,
it's
maybe.
not Aku though. She literally does the whole thing where she washes her skin and all of that
she
stuff.
also says she doesn't feel Aku in him she doesn't feel Aku in him anymore.
So like if there was a time for her to go, it should have been the minute Aku died. Like story wise, that should have been the fading point.
And then,
like the creator of the show, in my opinion, I think he was suffering from some form of depression because there's hints to so many characters dealing with internal depression in that season. Aku is depressed. Aku is like, oh, what do I do with my life? Oh, what's going on? I'm like, yo, Genndy, what's going on, bro? Are you okay? Like, Jesus.
But we gotta talk about one of the best episodes. Oh, I can't believe we didn't mention this. Jack and the Scotsman. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
A lot of good parts, yeah.
You know what? Episodes where Jack finally makes a friend warm my heart.
Yeah. But like I'm saying, also Scotsman was roasting people, and like if they did that today, they would be cancelled.
Yeah.
I think he even calls Jack a soy boy at some stage. I was like, yo, how did they get all of this? Like, and also somebody was saying that if somebody said this to a Scottish person, apparently they were saying it would be a big fight if you use any of these insults with a Scottish person. I was like, how did y'all get that past the censors?
I mean, like, what I like about that is that you can see two polar opposite people becoming friends to the point where the Scotsman relied on Jack to go rescue his wife.
Oh, that's another episode.
And also, his kids eventually meet Jack, right?
They appear in the season finale of season 5.
Because
but they show every character that is interacted with.
They all come to rescue Jack.
Even the DJ kids. The club kids come too.
The club kids, the dogs.
Side note, the evil music was better than the good music. I needed that evil music back because that good music they were playing.
That's one of my favorite episodes. It has a strong message. This music is evil for you. You should not listen to this.
Music maker band. Your beats are bad.
Yeah, they're very bad. That's the only black dude Jack handled. That's the only one.
That's true.
No, we do not acclaim him.
Dog. He had funky beats, my nigga. He had funky beats, dog.
He's like Eminem. He's honorary black.
But you know what? There's an episode for me. I think, it's not all the episodes that were great. For me, the chicken episode was entertaining, but it's not the best.
I skip it a lot. No, but that was studio interference because they were like, this show is too dark for children. You need to. It's the same as the episode where he loses.
But that chicken episode was hella dark.
It was dark in a sense, yes. But because it's a chicken and because it's Jack being turned into a chicken, people are like, ha ha ha. It's the same as when he loses his shoes. And apparently he's like, he has all of his mojo is gone because he can't find these flip-flops. And then at some point he's wearing high heels.
Right.
No. But I wanted to say, everybody who's afraid of rats, when that rat came out from that box with that tongue, everybody was freaking the F out. That was not a pretty episode. Yeah. And the first thing I would have done when I got turned back to human and that fat pig that was using him as a chicken fighter got turned into a chicken himself, I would have cooked him.
No chicken.
I mean, I was considering trying the shrimp instead.
But guys, can we give props to the voice actors in the show, man?
Yo,
Phil Lamar, my guy.
Phil Lamar,
Yeah.
man.
Phil Lamar, you don't understand. This guy is like, because he's voiced some of the great, like he voiced Static.
Static, yeah.
He also did Green Lantern or whatever. He does Kotal Khan on Mortal Kombat.
Right.
And then there's what's that guy from Futurama?
The Black Beetle in Young Justice, I think.
Oh,
Oh yeah. He does
I
that.
don't know if you remember The Weekenders.
The Weekend.
It was a show about the weekend. It was on Disney. Tino, like, it starts on
Right,
Friday and ends on Sundays.
Yeah, I
Um,
know it, but
Yeah, he was the
I know
black
the
guy
name.
in The Weekenders.
I'll look it up. We'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but like, and also we have to. Why am I forgetting his name? I always mess up his name. The voice of Aku before he passed.
yeah.
Mako. There we go,
Mako.
Mako.
You know,
Yeah,
General
him
Iroh.
as Iroh and him as
his
thingy.
voice acting,
Yeah.
you know,
Iconic.
people think, you know, his voice acting skills are brilliant, yes, but people forget that he was also a very talented actor.
Yes.
Mm.
I mean, take away that the poor the cringe effect in the or rather the patriotic effect that you have in Pearl Harbor. The main villain was played by Mako, General Yamamoto.
Mm.
And you can see scenes where he's contemplating, when he's like, we could see when he's thinking like, you know what, this is really a bad move, but for the sake of the nation, we really need to make this plan work. So we need to attack Pearl Harbor. That he was there. You couldn't sense the sense of Yamamoto's melancholy in having to do this decision without having an actor like him play that role.
He was also in a movie with Jeff Speakman. I forgot the title of the movie, but it was like a martial arts film. You know those martial arts films in the 90s, late 80s?
Where it ends up with Chuck Norris?
No. Chuck Norris was not in that one, but yeah, that was a good one. I just forgot.
One where he ends up. Some kid was a fan of Chuck Norris, ends up fighting in some big karate tournament, and he was the one who ended up training. Marco was the one who was training the kid. I forgot its name of that movie. I'll look it up. But I was just saying that Marco was talented all out. It wasn't just for like that man.
No, I think what people misunderstand with voice acting is that it's still acting.
Yeah.
Like it's still, you still have to put in a performance. If you see these guys in the booth, they're doing the whole thing where they're doing their hands and everything.
You don't see people just sitting there, and it's not like somebody reading a script and like, oh no, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, when it calls for you to scream your lungs out because you're transforming to Super Saiyan, you will scream your lungs out.
Hey,
because you're
Sean
transforming to Super Saiyan.
Trimble has lungs made of vibranium, guys. Like, let's just that man. But anyway, back to Mako though. Like, yeah, the thing is, Mako took a one-dimensional villain and made him iconic.
Yes.
Like, that's difficult.
You know, that scene when he's laughing at Samurai Jack's dad in that movie, Breath of Evil Part 2. And like he's surrounded him and like, do you know how many takes they had to make of him laughing? Because there's like, and then there's then you zoom in closer. So you could see.
Yeah, cool, man.
See, Aku is as iconic as the Joker or
Yeah.
Robin Williams' Genie.
Yes.
Aladdin. That's how good it was.
That's how versatile. That's what makes a show work.
Right.
If you don't have, you there are two ways of it. If you have a very serious plot, you need something to be a comedic foil. And the genius, whether it was Marco's idea or Genndy's, I don't know, but the genius of making the arch villain, the comedic foil to this super serious dark story, is an act of pure genius. I don't know why they haven't won any Oscars from that.
And it's funny because usually when an evil character is like that, he's usually this mustache twirling.
Yes.
But not in this one. It's kind of like, you remember Kung Pao Enter the Fist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The villain in Kung Pao was funny as hell as well.
Betty. From now on, you will know me as Betty. Isn't Betty almost dead?
Oh, is this the one where? Wait, is that the one where he's like swinging the chain,
Yeah.
and then there's like a cow that shoots milk, and then they do the Matrix. It's the one-breasted lady.
Yeah, that's chick with the one dead.
I remember, and funny enough, Kung Pao, they were showing us what's going to happen in part 2, which never came.
Yeah.
Where they showed a large army coming to him, and he's busy counting them. Like,
No. He starts off like, okay, let's do this, and
Yeah.
then eventually he's just like, hey, what's happening?
And then they showed that the cow brought more chickens, brought the entire barn to fight him, and then the chicken flies off after him.
I have a
that dog
question.
that kept dying
Yeah.
and coming back, like resurrecting. Remember that dog?
I have a question for you guys. It might be a little bit different, but like, if you could choose one supporting character without Jack or Aku to make a spin-off TV show from Samurai Jack, who would it be?
Scotsman.
The
Scots-
monks.
Scots-
The monks for me, bro.
Oh, the monks.
The Shaolin monks.
Yeah, for me. Yeah.
That's a good pick as well. But just to hear Scotsman just trash talking everybody for like a season.
Let me
would
ask
be
you one
so much
question.
fun.
Let me ask you one question, Tebello, about the monks. Didn't you care about them in that episode?
I did.
I did. I
Yeah.
did feel. I felt the weight of that sacrifice, and that's the thing that would have kept me going to the gate.
Yes.
The fact that they're making that sacrifice so that you can fix this messed up world.
Plus, they showed that old man with a long beard that looked like something.
Yes, he remembers Jack. He
Yeah.
was there as a kid. It's like, I reached spiritual enlightenment, and that is why I have become one with nature itself, and
Yeah.
nature sustains me. But look at you. You are
Wait,
young.
I'm kind of curious, like, from both of your shows, and Tebello, you can say yours as well, but like, what would the show kind of be about? Like, what would the Scotsman show be about? What would the monks show be about? Like, what would their daily adventures be?
For me, the monks thing, it'll just be like kind of like those action movies we used to watch in the 80s, like American Shaolin or whatever, where they would just show you them training, and they'd have like internal politics, kind of like Tai Chi.
Yeah.
And like just stuff like that, where they just fight evil guys, but you just appreciate the martial arts of it. Because for me, one of the best martial arts I've seen in Samurai Jack was in that episode.
Yeah,
where they
that's
show
true.
you the mantis, the
They
tiger.
were busy talking about the different styles. It's like,
Yeah.
you
That
used
was
to
amazing.
ox fist and tiger claw.
Yeah, that was amazing.
That's sun fist.
Just the art of martial arts in cartoons for me. That's all. Just
And then if you know all these styles, you must know a secret symbol of brotherhood. Brother.
exactly.
But
I'll get you.
okay, to answer your question, mine would have to be the Gate Guardian.
Yeah.
Woo!
That's a good one.
Oh, like fighting, yeah.
Yeah, the story would basically be about him, his day-to-day life, beating everybody who's trying to go through the gate, then him explaining to them that you ain't the one, and then they keep fighting, and then he keeps kicking their ass, and I think they'll get a little internal strife of, you know what, he's like longing to find this guy who's going to finally defeat him or something like that, like you know,
he's
life at the top.
trapped.
He's
trapped to the job. Yeah.
He's trapped to the job. That would be a nice.
It would be interesting to see his life when he's not actually there. Like maybe it's his night shift. Like you see him with his friends and family, and where he gets his suits.
Yeah.
Like
He's
his
saying, I need
tailor.
to go. It's time. I don't know. For me, with the Scotsman, I would like to see more of his interaction with the clan and how he became like the strongest in his clan, and then also the interaction with his wife, the years with his children and all of that stuff, and just fighting different various bounty hunters and all of that stuff, and like maybe taking down like the second in command of Aku or whatever, and all of that stuff.
Or maybe how she freaks out, how everybody runs for their lives because they accidentally called the wife fat.
Yeah.
That still makes me so laugh. It's like, oh, it seems like we need to find a new exit, my friend. Why? Because this exit is so small and your wife is so what?
No, my favorite part in that episode was like throw the fat female into the broth. I'm not fat, I'm stout. And she goes Super Saiyan, and it's just like, you could have saved yourself this entire time, right?
Just a lady.
A new pillar. who do you think would have been?
I would need more time to think, but I think watching a weekly show about the Imakandi hunting people
Hey,
would just
yo.
be
Yeah.
would be fire.
That's a good one.
Fire.
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
And the tribe, it would basically be like Super Saiyans, honestly. Like they
Yes.
go back to their home world and they're like, yo, let's go hunt, and then they let people go if they're worthy, and then they kill them if they're not. You know what I mean? Like, be crazy.
That would be awesome. That would be fantastic, I think.
All right,
So-
then. I think we should do. We did a section on favorite episodes. We should do least favorites, and I got one.
I started with the chicken one, so
Yeah, there's the chicken one. I mean, there's the one with the heels. I was not a fan of that one. I skip it every time when I rewatch.
My shoes don't like to be laughed at.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of funny the first time, but then I was just like, I don't need this. Then one that I thought was kind of meh for me was the fish people episode. Kind of when you go into the sea, I was like, it's not a bad episode, but it's just like it's not top
It's
10
mid.
for me.
yeah, it doesn't come to mind immediately. Yeah.
I feel that way about the dog episode. Like, it's very early, but for some reason, I just never.
I love that dog episode though.
What
Are you talking
connected.
about the excavation?
The talking, the talking archaeological dogs. Like
Yeah.
Oh,
I
those
never.
Nah, I like that one a lot. So
I just never. I mean, another great episode. It's not a worst one, but like I really like the 300 Spartan episode. I don't know why we never spoke about it.
Oh, yeah,
That one was a good episode.
300 plus
For
one.
me,
Yeah,
the Lulu Sweet thing one, the
yeah.
robot that Jack killed.
Mm.
oh, Tale of X9. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was also a good one. Because it was just like Aku made this robot. Why? I'm just like, Aku,
No.
I don't understand.
Aku, you see, the thing is, Aku is always the one thing you need to appreciate about Aku is that he always innovates. So he wanted to expand his empire faster. So he needed an army of robots. So these mad scientists made humanoid robots, and one of these mad scientists decided to give this humanoid robot an emotional chip or something
Right.
like that.
No, what I'm saying is that why would you, like, you've already sent thousands of robots that have all of these weapons against Jack, and they don't do anything. I don't know how X9 is supposed to make a difference.
He has feelings.
Aku was just bored.
An episode I really don't like, and I don't understand, because for some reason they used to play it on Cartoon Network all the time. Was the Jack and the Baby episode. I just never connected with it.
Let me tell you
I
why.
never.
Let me tell you why they played it all the time. It was supposed to be the last episode
Yeah.
of Samurai Jack.
Oh,
That's how it was supposed to end. It was. He explains it in the movie. I call
Documentary.
it the documentary commentary when I was talking about the birth of evil. That the Jack and the Child was the last episode of that whole thing.
I'm happy it's not.
but it's also, I think that one is also based on a movie, right? And on,
Yes.
Yeah, it's
That's why-
it's based on a samurai it's a famous samurai story. It's like there's a reference to it. I think it's the samurai and the cub or something,
Yeah,
or
something
the
like
lone
that.
wolf and the cub,
The Lone
or
Wolf and the
something
Cub
like
or
that.
something like yeah.
Yeah. I think the episode's fine. I also like it at the end when the baby has the samurai eyes. I found that funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like as
Yes.
the child has witnessed a lot of
I remember the words. Your child has now achieved Sakai of the samurai.
Momotaro.
was traumatized. It's like, this is not my child anymore. Like, yo,
But what did you have to do? Why did your dumbass let this child be taken by evil child eating robots in the first place? What do you expect was gonna happen?
but there was also this episode. Even though I like it because you saw Jack's first crush, where he goes back to Egypt. Nothing happens in that episode. It's just him reflecting on his life when he was a kid, when he met this girl in Egypt, and I don't even. I think
it wasn't Egypt.
Where was it?
It was basically at his home. It was basically at his home. He walked back to his old kingdom and different landmarks that were ruined. He was remembering them back in the heyday, and then there was a time when there was a little girl who wanted to capture a cricket.
Yes.
So then he was busy running around trying to capture the cricket along with him, and when they failed, he made one out of paper, and she gave him, and she gave him a little kiss, and that's how he remembers this thing.
He was holding his cheek and stuff.
I think there's another ode to Lone Wolf and Cub in that actual episode.
Yes,
Isn't there a
because
samurai?
there was a samurai
with a
who-
baby in a cart, yeah.
carrying.
Well,
a
I
baby
mean,
in a
I
cart.
think Genndy took a lot of inspiration from that because apparently in that thing, it's about a wandering samurai, and
Yes.
Samurai Jack is technically a
who needs
wandering
to
samurai.
who needs to restore his honor and blah blah blah.
Yeah. Aye, that honor thing doesn't make sense to me, gents. I must stab myself because I don't have honor. Whoa.
Oh, you mean seppuku?
Yeah, relax, chief.
It's the reason why Kenshin was such a successful story for a group of people who are super suicidal. Kenshin was saying just because you died doesn't make the things that you've done wrong right. By living every day in making amends, in atonement to what you've done wrong, is the way that the Batosa, the manslayer, is alive to this day and age. That's the moral of the story of Kenshin. Atone with your actions. Don't atone with.
I have a question for you, Tebello.
Hi.
Was Shishio wrong in his quest? Because his quest was to basically bring industrialism, right? In
Okay, we're jumping samurais. Let's not jump samurais.
That's the question. That's all.
No, Shishio's quest was not to industrialize. It was not just to industrialize Japan. Shishio's mission was to bring back the old ways of Japan.
Oh, okay.
And that was absolutely wrong because it was basically back to might is right. People are stuck in their own castes, and then his agenda was to make Japanese strong again by bringing the industrial revolution to Japan by using this petroleum that he discovered.
Right.
Stink water is petrol for those who don't know,
Right.
and industrialize the country so that it becomes a superpower. He is basically foreshadowing the empire of Japan.
Is that the guy that was wrapped in the bandages?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So Shishio's plan was absolutely the worst.
And then Kenshin was fighting for?
Kenshin was fighting. Kenshin's fight was not in support of the government.
Right.
Kenshin was fighting for that very dream that he fought for in the first place. A world where people can just be who they want to be. People who are free enough to follow what they want and not have to rely on having to have might to be right. A world where, quote unquote, a sword can be a flimsy toy used for training. Because the whole notion that Karu says the sword is a spirit that revitalizes the soul. Kenshin rubbishes it and says that's just play talk that can be said by anyone who hasn't spilled blood with their hands. But if I had a choice between the reality of what a sword being a weapon to that play talk, I'd rather have that play talk than the truth any day. So that's where it starts.
We need to watch that.
We'll talk about Kenshin one day because
we need to have a Kenshin episode.
Well, it's very soon.
Yeah.
I think after this one we're gonna finally have our kung fu movies, and then I think because we're gonna have to. How are you gonna squeeze 5 people in this podcast? Can 5 people squeeze here? If you guys gonna come back for the kung fu movies?
Who's the 5th one?
There's a guest that wants to come in because he's been watching the kung fu movies since the beginning of time.
Okay. I think if you tell us in advance which kung fu movies, because there are a lot of those.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's gonna make it interesting. We're gonna talk about all our personal favorite kung fu movies. I can't expect you to talk. We can't sit down and talk about. I can't expect you all to say, let's go watch 100 kung fu movies, and then we're gonna come back and say we're gonna talk about the 60s era cartoon movies because that's the one from our dads. And
I like them old school kung fu movies though. The whole
the show brother stuff.
Yeah.
I like.
It's the most impractical fighting style I've ever seen, but like it looks so nice with the hui.
I'm more into the Jet Li. We can fly for no reason.
The last hero and all of that stuff.
Chest and dust comes out.
The what you call it?
Hero.
Not even Hero. Hero is too late.
Once Upon a Time in China too.
There you go. That one.
Oh.
Well, how on earth are you doing all that?
Speaking of which, though, one episode that we didn't mention was the one where Jack goes to the graveyard and we find out that the sword can't kill Jack because he's pure-hearted.
Yes.
And then, present me is just like, Aku, why didn't you grab another sword?
Not even presently, but we've seen that sword kill people.
Why don't you just use your hand? Why don't you just transform your
Laser eye.
Laser eye. Like.
No, but I think it's because Aku is so petty. I think it's because
I think he just wanted to be killed eventually. He was good, guys.
I think he was so petty because he was just like, just imagine how it would feel if I got to kill you with your own sword, the sword that was made to kill me.
You know what I like about the people don't know that the Birth of Evil isn't really the actual start of the Samurai Jack. It came in like way later.
Yeah, I think season 3 or 4.
Season 3.
Yeah.
And you can see how it influenced later productions of Aku and Samurai Jack, because one of the things I loved the most about the Birth of Evil is the effect that effect the sword has on Aku's body. Where it burns him like it's paper. You know, and it was. If you look at all the episodes, the sword just hurt him. You didn't see that burning effect. Afterwards, you see it all the time, and you also see that pain scream that Marco makes, and that's what hits him.
But you know what? Honestly speaking, that 2-parter is probably one of the best episodes of Samurai Jack ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
And it doesn't involve Jack.
Yeah. I'll put it on the top 5 episodes ever, because that thing was cinema. Those things were movies, like mini.
That was movie. It takes all the inspiration, like the Journey to the West, flying on clouds. They're having to journey to a place of enlightenment, like traveling to the West, where you have to have these magical beings that have to empower you.
But I feel like I would, if I was Jack's dad, I would have just been like, you guys are not gonna help at all. Nothing.
We've done our part.
He's still on Earth.
We did our part. No? The super evil. We wiped it out. It's like asking me. It's like asking us to clean up a little turd on the side of the road. No.
Yeah, that's basically Dragon Ball Z logic, where you have Supreme Kais and you have Beerus.
But the Supreme Kais can't do anything. The Supreme Kais can't do anything. The Supreme Kais was shaking in their boots when they saw Boo.
Okay, what about Whis? What about Beerus?
Beerus is the Lord of Destruction, so if destruction is happening,
the question he's asking about is if the ultimate evil, Majin Buu, came to existence, it's gonna wipe out all reality. Didn't say it's gonna wipe out just Earth. It's gonna wipe out everything, right?
Yes.
And then we've got Wiz sitting there watching Beerus nap. It's like, oh, look at him. Aw, sleep tight, little one. Wouldn't Wiz be like, wake up.
Yo, guys, and the one thing I hated about Super is
if the Supreme Kai dies, then Beerus dies.
I mean, King Kai did more to try and help the world than the Supreme Kai did.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like if there's the one thing I hate about the whole retcon thing in Super is how they made it seem like Beerus is the one that influenced Frieza to take over a lot of planets.
Well, anyway, that's a Super episode. We need to do one of those. I want to do one of those so bad because I was watching Dragon Ball Z today, and I'm getting angry all over again.
Our blood pressure's gonna.
We had this discussion before. Okay. Super never happened last time.
I haven't explained my least favorite episode. My least favorite episode from Samurai Jack, for me, has to do with that dumb animal that.
Oh yeah,
the big blue fluffy thing.
The islandish type of animal.
I don't even remember that.
We thought
it's one of the times that Jack has a tough time because of those cyborgs or whatever, and it's confusing because you're like, I've seen you beat so many cyborgs.
Yes, with your bare face, just because your arm got tranquilized.
You know what? That episode was, to me, I think it was inspired by my neighbor Totoro.
Yeah, basically.
Studio Ghibli, yeah.
Yeah.
A big monster that is friendly. he shouldn't piss it off.
Because it becomes a gigantic kaiju.
Yeah.
Yo, one episode that it's a good episode, but it's not bad. It's not like on the lower tier, but it's in the mid tier.
Yes.
Is the Samurai? I was like, yeah. I was like, that's another black person where Jack handles him really well.
True.
That's why I quoted Aku in my previous episode. You know, when he goes like, Samurai Jack! That's right, Samurai. It is I. These are my newest and finest assassins. That's from that episode with the samurai, with that...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the first episode of a new season, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, episode 1 or 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the lesson, and I kind of like where the samurai ends up at the end of the episode, because a bunch of people were saying, yo, this is a racist depiction. Why is he doing hip-hop? Why is he moonwalking? Why is he spinning with the sword? And I'm just like, the whole point is that he's supposed to be a showboating, and then when he meets the real, genuine article, he just crumbles. And then he finally decides to accept his limitations and then actually wants to learn how to be a samurai. So I didn't have an issue with that.
Technically, he's the one African samurai beat.
No, I mean, I forgot that you're disclaiming the DJ. The DJ master. The beats are bad. Yes.
Yeah, I told you that guy is an Eminem. Honorary black.
But also, can we talk about the music? The music in Samurai Jack is amazing.
It's amazing that it's different from the norm.
Yeah.
I mean, if you pay careful attention, almost each episode has its own specific theme and song. Like, you know, the episode where Go meets the blue guy. It basically starts off as an end of another episode. Like, we don't know what happened. We just hear somebody narrating, thank you for helping us. And in turn, we shall help you. Go take this route this way. And then after that, do this and this. You will meet the people who do that over there.
But I mean, the score had to be great because there was barely any dialogue in a lot of these episodes.
Yeah.
And the score was... Like, I remember the one where... Remember when Samurai Jack is fighting the ninja and then he's in all white and he's in all black. And then... There's no dialogue in that whole episode, basically.
And that's where you can give props to Genndy, because Genndy's visual direction and visual presentation is on a god tier. And you see it so evident in Samurai Jack in that episode with the white versus black. You can see.
I think the only dialogue is from that kid where he's like, "Help me, Samurai Jack, help me!" And then
it's not even after that. It's after when Samurai Jack figures out Shinobi, warrior of the night.
Yeah.
You have been trained to use the darkness as your ally.
It's
I
similar
have also been trained in your ways.
It's similar to the episode with the 3 archers at the tower.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. I think that they said that. I remember Genndy said in an interview, like, that's when the show started hitting its stride, is after the 3 archers, because then they figured out exactly what they wanted the show to be. But like, that's you have to think about how terrifying that is. That there's a nigga that can hide in the daytime and come and kill you. Like, that is.
Screw being a dark ninja. If I could do that during the day, vanish in pure bright light, I was like, me. Do you know where would I be right now?
Also, I'm like, yo, Jack, how you got that quick uniform change? Like, that gi is versatile. That thing changes into so many pieces of clothing.
And then, to make things worse, let's not forget. Remember there was the episode with the thief? Why could I forget that episode?
Yeah, I wanted to mention it.
Well, then he was dressed like a dark ninja.
That was basically Lupin, the third character. He just changed his colors. That's he looks exactly like that guy from Lupin the Third.
So no. Okay, we can go on and on and on and on about Samurai Jack because we love him so much. I think we should close here like 2 hours and a half in.
Wait, I have one more question before we close.
Yes.
Cartoon Network, Samurai Jack. Where do you rank it in your number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Well,
now
that we've got Battle Through Time and I got the ending that I wanted with Ashi, I can comfortably put him at like number 1.
Samurai Jack, number 1. Cartoon Network.
I think so, because
Yeah.
it would be Samurai Jack, KND, Ed, and Eddie.
That's going to be so hard.
Yo, that's gonna be hard.
It's going to be so hard.
Actually, I have to reconsider my list,
my
but
top five.
Samurai Jack is one, I think.
It's
yeah.
definitely on my top 5, but I wouldn't put it at 1.
Wow.
No.
Okay.
It would
I'd put it.
probably 3 for me.
Yeah, I wonder what's the first two.
It has to be either Dexter or Ed and Eddie, one of the two.
Yeah, Dexter was good until like the later seasons.
I won't lie.
You or those later seasons of Dexter? Ish.
Yes.
Yeah.
I won't lie.
Or
Because
Powerpuff.
what knocks Samurai Jack off from the top for me is the fact that originally it doesn't have a satisfactory ending. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
Kid me always find that frustrating. I want a story that has an ending. I deserve closure, and it's
Yeah.
one of the things
Yeah.
that we.
Why
as
do you think
millennials
people were
struggle
so
with.
hyped out off of season 5? The world stopped.
Yeah,
Like,
Bruh.
because we needed closure. You can't have so much bad happen and then leave it in a question mark, and that's why it couldn't take.
And you
it
still
can't-
messed up. You still messed up the end anyway because
Yeah.
he's still depressed because he didn't.
Yeah.
no, but then Battle Through Time, the video game came out, and if you collect all the tokens, you get a secret ending that's apparently
Wow.
canon.
Okay, cool.
It's canon.
Can you find
Genndy
that ending on
confirmed-
YouTube?
Yeah. You can just find it on YouTube. And Genndy he said Genndy caved, and because everybody was like, no.
Oh,
Just tell us before, otherwise I'd have to go
No,
to.
so Ashi, right? In the original, she just dies off, right? In this one, apparently nothing happens to her. They just go through with the wedding, and she's there, and she's fine at the end. And they both meet up at the tree, and they both see the little ladybug thing, and then they hug each other, and it's the end of the series.
thank God.
Oh.
Why didn't you
Not
just do that?
Not after what poor Samurai Jack went through did you decide to give him some love and then take it away. But anyway, my number one will have to be, because I'm a kid at heart. Let's be honest. So, Kids Next Door. It's honest.
Wow.
It has to be number one because you can see all the kids' things that you used to love and used to make stories out of in your head come to life, and you finally felt as that kid who daydreamed all day and night at school. And you failed your classes because you're too busy daydreaming, and you find out that it's a mental condition later on. But anyway, those things you're daydreaming about are the things that other kids and other people all over the world are also daydreaming about. You're thinking, wow, wouldn't it be nice to have a battleship that's actually a spaceship? That's actually...
Yeah, no, but
In a dream.
Genndy was crazy because they were even like kids created parents.
Yeah,
Like,
because,
that was
A happy
wild.
boy. Who's a happy boy? Who's a happy boy?
you know,
Remember that?
and...
I mean, also there's courage.
Kids Next Door will have to take it.
Uh,
Number one was always my favorite because he was number one,
Yeah.
and he was the only child who was
Nice
also the
also.
leader. I mean, other characters there, they sort of have siblings. I think they all have siblings,
Yeah.
except number
no,
one.
number 4. Does number 4 have siblings?
He has a little brother.
He has a little brother.
Oh,
Who's the
does
tabby-
number
the
3 have
tabby?
a sibling?
Who?
Number 3, I think she
Number
does.
three.
Doesn't she have a sister or something?
Yes, she does. A younger
Oh,
sister
okay.
who ends up getting spanked by Count Spanky.
No, but number 2 doesn't have a sibling, does he?
I think he does.
Wait, number 4 has this baby brother. Has a little boy, a baby that can command. That's like the next prodigy for dodgeball.
Expert. Yeah.
Number 2 has the tabby.
The what?
That kid who used to call himself
Right.
the tabby.
Right.
Number 5 is an older sister who used to be K&D operative.
Yes, and she's
Their
now
their father's Bill Cosby.
whoa.
Yeah.
Hey,
Did not
we
age
didn't
well.
know. We didn't know. It was funny at the time.
It was funny at the time.
Yeah.
It aged like ice cream on a sunny day, but still.
Yeah.
No one knew. We found out by surprise.
Okay, but then only number 1 is the only one who's the only child, and you can see because I'm also an only child, I can see somebody who can completely devote himself to work because there's nothing else to do. That's why the treehouse is at his place.
All right. So what's is Samurai Jack number 2?
I can't even say that 12 because Megas XLR has to be number 2.
Ooh.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, Jack for me is number 4, guys. Samurai Jack is number 4.
Because
Wow.
the only Megas XLR is because
I feel like there's a lot of blasphemy against Jack. Like I know it didn't end well, but like, come on, guys. Those first 4 seasons were the best shows.
Even Megas XLR has an unsatisfactory ending. I won't lie.
No, I would call it satisfactory.
Yes.
No.
Even Coop. Come on.
But no, it's just that he does the original plot of the story. That girl wanted to go back in time to stop the Croft from destroying Earth.
Sounds like a Samurai Jack inspiration.
She went too far back, and she ends up with an idiot. And they won't fix the spaceship.
But they win, and they beat the Glorft.
They beat the Glorft.
Never show up.
It's like what you call it? It's like Endgame all over again. They beat the future Glorft. They don't beat the Glorft that's technically coming.
Wasn't Evil Coop the last episode?
That was the last episode.
Yeah.
I love that episode. You know you can't win. I don't know nothing.
I ain't evil.
Oh, how about that episode where they fight against the Power Rangers and then they get sucked into a black hole and then they come out? It's like, no one should have survived that. Good thing no one told us that.
We should put that on the docket, guys, please.
No, we are definitely talking about Vegas.
I guess then for you it's number 3, right?
So
Samurai Jack
will have to be 3. Number 4 will have to be. It's a tie between Ed and Eddie and Robot Boy.
Robot Boy.
Because Robot Boy makes me laugh because of that one episode of they are trying to test his defensive capabilities. Like, you might feel a slight tingling sensation, so sit back and relax. Boo.
Right.
And who's number 5? I think there's someone I'm skipping and I'm gonna have a heart attack. I think it's Powerpuff Girls. There you go.
Yeah.
So Samurai Jack is definitely 3rd.
For me, it's Ed and Eddie, Powerpuff Girls, Dexter, Samurai Jack, and Courage the Cowardly Dog. In no particular order, but I think Jack is not number 1 there. But yeah.
No.
For me, I'm gonna go Jack 1. Courage is 2, and might throw people off, but regular show for me is number 3. I am a huge.
I don't know. Regular show is such a frustrating watch.
Hold up. Are we talking? I was specifically referring to Golden Age Cartoon Network, like when you were growing up.
Oh, I was just talking everything. I mean, even Adventure Time.
I mean, I didn't include power. I didn't include because if that's the case, we're gonna have to change the list because.
Okay, maybe we should think about our list.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about it another time.
Because Steven Universe is going to be like definitely 3rd. It's gonna replace
even Ben 10, season 1 of Ben 10.
Ben 10, oh my god, that's the one I forgot.
The rest of the show was not the greatest, but that first season.
That first season.
I liked Ultimate Alien. I did like Ultimate Alien. But the strongest writing is in the first season.
Yo. Okay, we need to have an episode about Cartoon Network proper. Right. Okay, so what's gonna happen? I think this next week is the Kung Fu one. After that, I think we should dive in. I want to also touch in on a certain anime. I think we'll go into Rurouni Kenshin. Have you guys watched Rurouni Kenshin?
I need to rewatch it. I did think I watched it before, but I need to rewatch it.
It's a reboot now, right?
Yeah, I've heard.
Animated reboot, because also they said that the live action. They said that the live actions are the best.
You know what? If there's one thing you've got to respect about the live actions that even end up on Netflix is, sure, they do try their level best to be as respectful to the original source as possible within the limitations of human ability.
Yes.
Problem. I have too active an imagination to just accept this realism compared to the animated source.
But they got great reviews though. They
said that the Kenshin
they do deserve it. I'm not discounting that. It's not a them issue. It's a me issue. It's the reason why when I read the manga and then it gets animated, I do feel a slight tinge of disappointment at certain scenes.
I get you.
The same thing if it's animated and then it becomes a live action. There's a slight that I struggled with. So
Ahsoka is a good example of that.
pointing reference.
Hey,
So
at least it's not Dragon Ball Evolution.
like if they tried, like if they made a live action, you see, my disappointment is when Aizen called the Aranka in the final
Oh, in the
episode,
Bleach, yeah.
in that last arc of Bleach, Stark, Barrick, and Hannibal come forth, and then the Garganta opens, and you see this wonderful frame looking at them. It's like, if the fake city is here, then we'll just kill you all here. The way it was done, it was drawn, and the way translated in my head, it was the most epic scene. And then they try to do this scene when it's animated, and it seems like they took 1 part wine to 7 parts water. And that's the feeling I get when I see live action, even though I will admit they are good now. We cannot compare to what happened in the past. I mean, even One Piece, they did a good job.
Yeah.
They put their heart and soul into that. I can see it.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna think it's gonna get me into One Piece, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my
that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
Sorry, Buck. What's your where do you put Samurai Jack?
It's number 1 for me on Cartoon Network. I broke so many rulers. I broke so many rulers in high school running around. Like, my mother used to get so upset. She was like, "This is the 4th one I bought you. What are you doing?"
This month.
Even though I'm not putting Samurai Jack as number 1, I don't think I would have had the manga that I have now called Vital Intensity had it not been for Samurai Jack. And that manga for me is one of my biggest passion projects of all time. So I'm basically disrespecting my list right now if I'm not putting number 1. If I'm being honest, because it wouldn't. I'm telling you, that story wouldn't have been made had it not been for Samurai Jack.
I'm gonna stick to my list because I'm stubborn like that. I'm just going to say, when it comes to Genndy's work, it's number 1 by a landslide.
I mean, Primal is good. Primal is really good.
But okay, I should put so far because this man is he's still cooking.
Yeah, there's the new show. I think it's about unicorns.
Still cooking. He is still cooking.
Apparently, people are saying they're kind of mixed on that because he's trying to do like a mystery thing. And there was also Symbionic Titan, which was also pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wish that gets finished someday. But you know.
As much as we love his work that he's still making, even the Clone Wars that is done, everything that is done is in comparison to Jack.
Yeah.
We can't say, oh wow, look at this new thing that is made. It's like
a Toriyama.
But I mean, that's
Dragon Ball.
like, the thing is, like, with creatives, you gotta understand, like, as creators ourselves, we're gonna make that one thing that everybody likes.
Yes, the masterpiece.
And after that,
it's called a masterpiece. After that, everything is going to be compared to the masterpiece.
Yeah, and then you should just focus on making money to feed your family. You don't have to try and push.
No, and I mean, you should.
We are looking at you, Wachowskis.
Yo.
But it got cancelled.
What?
Kishimoto, I think he did Samurai 8, but it got cancelled.
Yeah. No,
that's actually a big
people.
thing. Like, mangaka is the one thing where people make huge hits, but then after that, it's like
but they can't like move past it because even Akira Toriyama is struggling to move past Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
but Osamu Tezuka was an exception to the rule, though. He did so many other great things apart from Astro Boy. He did Kimba the White Lion. He did Black Jack. He did Tennis.
But he's like the founder of anime.
he's an exception. Yeah,
and also like you have to look at the era
that's the rule because he's
the god. Yeah.
I mean, Kubo, can he make something bigger than Bleach? I don't think so. Kishimoto, can he make anything bigger than Naruto? It's not happening.
And at the same time,
Naruto is not finishing One Piece because it's like, nah, niggas, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. I mean, the lady that made Full Metal Alchemist, I think she's tried. It just hasn't worked out.
She did Silver Spoon, which was really good.
I think the only person who probably tried was the guy who made Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter.
Oh yeah.
That's the only.
Yeah, Togashi.
Although you have the show is a superior show. It's a superior show to Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah. I mean, but at least they both hits, you know.
Yeah.
But look, if it wasn't for Hunter x Hunter, we wouldn't have got a lot of Naruto that we got. So
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
without Naruto, wouldn't have a lot of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Ooh, Jujutsu Kaisen.
yeah.
I don't care what they say.
Yeah.
I don't care how they argue against it.
No, Jujutsu Kaisen is the next gen baby. It's literally a fusion of everything we've seen before.
It's what Boruto should have been.
But I mean, it like the thing
Well,
is,
you said it.
no, Boruto. The issue with Boruto is that they're trying to stretch a premise that doesn't work anymore, and they're breaking character. It's doing what Dragon Ball Super is doing. It's taking characters and it's breaking them in the process.
The
Like,
fact that people were saying, no, Boruto gets better in episode 200, and I'm like, what?
Oh no, wait until
no,
the time skip.
it
Wait until the
can't.
time skip.
No,
If the
it
time skip has
can't.
happened, and I'm still not going to watch it.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying, like, the minute that Naruto ran out of chakra, we were all, it was finished. Because what are we doing here? And then also,
No, you guys lost me with the aliens. Now we're fighting aliens?
no, forget aliens, dog. Episode 1, when Naruto gets tired and his clone disappears. I was like, last time we saw him, he was fighting a war back to back. You telling me paperwork is enough to just make...
Please, let's not get. He's from the Uzumaki. What are the Uzumaki known for?
Chakra reserves. That's it. It's like... And then also, Sasuke is not a father. Why? Why?
The
His
man who
whole
suffered the
thing-
biggest abandonment issue apart from Naruto.
His
is
whole
is
thing
the
was
biggest
his
absentee
clan.
father.
Sasuke is
Yes.
basically the Harry Potter of Naruto, let's be honest.
But I'm saying,
Yeah, he is.
like, and also Sarada is the first Uchiha born after the Uchiha massacre. You'd think Sasuke, the walking encyclopedia of Uchiha,
Uchiha.
would stay and train this little girl and be like,
Said
okay.
he's training his rival's kid.
Yeah. Doesn't that make sense?
I'm just like, wait,
That makes complete sense.
Oh no, please. Let's
Obviously.
get things right. He's not training his lover, his rival's kid.
oh my god.
You know what I'm gonna say? You know what I'm gonna say?
Yeah.
Yes, he's training his lover's kid.
Yeah.
No, but still, I'm just saying, his whole thing was the Uchiha crest. He wore that thing on his back day in, day out. He was willing to sacrifice himself to Orochimaru. So the minute another Uchiha should have been born, he should have been in it. Like, he should have snatched that kid from Sakura.
Let's also call it what it is. How on earth do you think that Uchiha are gonna come back?
He needs to do that, and then they have to have family.
I'll be honest, if anyone is still trying to read Boruto, watch Boruto.
You're stronger than I
You
am.
know, like, I'm sorry, bro. Go watch
When's the
something.
last time Boruto had a moment in Boruto? The last time people talked about Boruto
Okay,
was
what?
when he stabbed
There's other
Sasuke.
things. Go take a hike. Go to the movies.
Go touch grass.
Go eat go have a nice breakfast somewhere.
You know, go,
You don't
Go
need
read
Boruto
Black
in
Fist
life.
on webtoons.
Yeah.
We have some we have some good suggestions for you. Like try watching Basilisk or Tenjo Tenge or
Yeah, you know.
Well, it's not
Berserk.
even
Read Berserk.
It's not even that hectic. Just go rewatch History's Strongest Disciple or something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
You don't
something.
need Boruto in your life. It's okay. It's okay.
Move
Let
on.
it go.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Actually, you know what?
It's
This is a
literally this
PSA.
close to super.
I'm gonna say this, and I know some of you are not gonna agree with me, but I'm gonna say it anyway. You see the same way you're feeling about Boruto? You see that feeling here right now?
Mhm.
That's me and 1,000-year blood war arc.
Yes.
Yeah, that 1,000-year blood war is all over the place, eh?
I don't care. I
You know
know people
what's-
love it. Some people
know
are
what's
busy
the
going
weirdest
on.
thing?
I read the manga. You know, people don't understand what I say. I watched my spirit die reading chapter
Yeah.
after chapter of that manga. And now you're expecting me to go jump on that hype train because, oh no, Zariki has a release now. Oh no.
After
hell
Yamamoto
out of here.
dies, this is a PSA. All you Bleach fans. After Yamamoto dies, stop watching the anime. Stop reading the manga. Go live your life. Go
When
pick something
Aizen
else.
lost, it ended.
It's over.
You know, for me, the next best arc after the Soul Society arc is the Turn Back Pendulum arc. That's it. What do they call it? The 1,000-year, the past. You know the past.
Yeah.
They show how Yoroichi was still captain and how
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
For me, that's the best arc. Apart from that, Bleach is.
I don't know. I like the other arc where you get to meet the other temporary thingy, the other temporary Soul Reaper or whatever.
Captain.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a filler.
The
That's
full
filler,
bring.
bro. That's filler, bro.
No. That's
No,
not.
it's not.
It's not filler. It's canon. There's a guy who had Ichigo's position before Ichigo, and he got casted out of the Soul
Oh no,
Society.
the Bound, the
Yeah.
Fullbringers.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, it is full bring. Yeah.
Yeah. The
Fullbringers.
Fullbringer. I like the Fullbringer arc. I thought
And that's considered to be the weakest one, by the way, by many fans.
By many fans, and I don't blame them.
I agree. It is one of the weaker ones. I
mean, I'm not saying it was spectacular, but I'm just saying in terms
But
of the
I
arcs.
wanted to add to the reason why you liked Turn Back the Pendulum and the Soul Society arc. Do you know? And what's the common denominator between both those arcs?
Aizen.
Glasses Aizen, not even pushback Afro
Right.
Aizen.
Right.
Glasses Aizen being
Right.
all sneaky and crafty and
Yes.
working behind the camera,
Yes.
and that's when
No, Bleach does suffer from having a lack of like iconic villains because I mean Dragon Ball Z at least has 3, and then Naruto at least has like 4. Like out of Bleach, yeah, it's Aizen. Outside of Aizen,
okay, you know what?
This Yuwak guy is not.
I figured it out. I think after this, after the Kung Fu one, we have to start with Bleach. Then we'll worry about the other manga. Because we need.
But I thought we're gonna do that on the other podcast. Remember?
Oh, okay. No. The other podcast then is fine.
We can do it. It doesn't matter.
Because we need to get it out of our system. Because, guys, when I tell you the biggest haters of Bleach are the guys who loved it the most, I'm talking about myself. I loved Bleach. Bleach inspired so much of my work. There would not be a War Angel were it not for Bleach and Saint Seiya and Dragon Ball. And to see what it became, and then for people who action junkies who love the action junkiness and they don't care about the story come and try and tell me that this thing is back again, and then they're trying to make me feel like I'm the idiot for not wanting to watch this thing after I've read the manga and suffered the depression and know which characters are not going to be alive in the end, because I know how it's going to end, and if you push me, child of God, I will spoil it for you. That's how bitter I am.
That's the thing, like Kubo, like great artwork, great character design,
fantastic.
You know what I mean? But those two things do not make it a good story. I'm sorry, bro. I hate the internet people that are like, oh, but the panel, bro, but the panel,
the panel,
without backgrounds.
The panel.
Have backgrounds.
The backgrounds got less and less as time went on. If you look at stories where the artwork isn't really that good, but the story carries, I mean, goodness, there's some embarrassingly bad panels I think you'd find from like Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
Early Fairy Tail.
I mean, I don't know if you guys ever watched Hajime no Ippo by any chance.
Yes.
I'm still watching it too.
Yeah. But if you go back to the manga, like the first chapter, like the art's very rough compared to where it is right now.
Attack on Titan, yeah. You're right.
Look, all of them. If you look at Kubo's episode 0, boy, the characters no chin.
But I think
big ass foreheads.
That looked better was Toriyama. Toriyama's first chapter was not bad, really.
Toriyama's actually.
Well, the thing is, by the time he did Dragon Ball, he had been in the game.
Yeah,
like I think people think Dragon Ball was his first, but it wasn't. Like he had told like a couple of stories, like that gag character in Dragon Ball, whatever her name.
Ariel.
Yeah. She he had a series with her, I think, or something.
Yeah, it's called
before. Yeah.
So it's not his first rodeo, but all I'm saying
with Kubo, he did Zombie Powder before Bleach. So
also that's another thing. You just said it now. Akira Toriyama, back to back. 2 classics, Dr. Slump and Dragon Ball. Yeah.
But I think Dragon Ball was the way. I think it was just the biggest success, and I think just because of Z and the Funimation dub and what they did, I think that's that big reason as to.
If you look at our I was about to comment about Zombie Powder. If you look at is it Zombie Powder or Zombie Power?
Oh, is that the Kubo one?
Yes.
I think it's Zombie Powder. Is it not Zombie Powder?
Okay, Zombie Powder, yeah. if you look at the artwork, it's also ridiculously
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's detailed. That man,
You see characters like Grimjo, Jaka Jak, and Stark. They're basically characters from Zombie Powder.
if you, how do I put it in context? If it, in another world, he'd have made a fantastic illustrator.
Yes. Yes.
But as a mangaka, to say that out loud, I'm sure it's the highest insult, and I swear to God, assassins are going to be dispatched after me right now. But still,
Like the thing is, I'm not saying Kubo's not a good storyteller because for the first, few arcs, he had it.
yeah, he had it. I mean,
He had it.
look, Aizen is a villain to emulate villains after. Let's be honest. Sometimes I think Kishimoto was looking at Bleach and saw Aizen and thinking, I'm gonna add a bit of this in my Madara. This God complex, it really works.
I just wanted to say, so Kubo's approach in storytelling, what he would do is he would create a character, then he creates a character first, then tries to create a story behind the character. That's how. And also, everything was sort of like a retelling of the Soul Society arc. Someone gets kidnapped, they have to go rescue the person. So,
well, I think that's the thing, though. It's like if you look at a situation like that, like that's why One and Yusuke Murata work so well together, is because like One knows how to tell a story, but Yusuke Murata knows how to make that story look pretty. So I guess like maybe this is why writing is so important, is that I think maybe Kubo needed somebody in his corner that can be like, hey chief, this is where you should put this is where you should put that. Because like the thing is with Shonen Jump, they're quite ruthless with their mangaka in that when their mangaka are done, they're like, no you're not.
Yeah, it's like Takeshi Obata and Tsugumi Oba, who did Death Note and Bakuman and Platina End. It's basically those two work well together. Takeshi Obata cannot write a story to save his life, but his illustrations are great. And Tsugumi Oba cannot draw to save his life or her life. But
no, that's the thing we see in Bakuman. The dark side you see in the manga world is that it's pressurized and when people are forced to work together is because if you try and hone your skills on your own and your stories suck, you can't make a career out of it.
Yeah.
No, those people don't see their families. You see all of these fatherless protagonists. It's people who don't get to see their children.
Oda, I think, sees his wife once a week. Wife and kid.
Imagine.
And he only sleeps like 4 hours a day.
And how much money do you make from it?
Millions. He's a millionaire.
Oda is rich. Oda has statues.
Oda and Kishimoto are rich.
Oda has, thank God.
Masashi Kubo's not doing too bad either because of merchandising. But I'm just saying, like Oda and Akira and Masashi, they have statues like in Japan. Like people have actually built like there's a Luffy Day or there's like a One Piece Day in one of these like Japanese towns or whatever.
But I mean, is it worth it? Imagine your own child walking around seeing Luffy more than he sees his own father. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that weird?
That's the perfect origins of a perfect villain arc. It's like I'm
or
going to destroy this legacy that you've spent your life trying to build.
That's actually a good shonen story. Like his father is a mangaka. Actually, yeah. But anyways, we can talk about this another time.
We have
to talk about that.
We have that in Boruto anyway. So
facts. Well, that's a Boruto.
Boruto, it's terrible because like he's supposed to know that. Like the fact that nobody knows what Naruto did is infuriating. Like nobody knows who this guy is. Like, you know, the first founded the village, you know, the second founded the jutsu, you know, the third is the god of shinobi, you know, the fourth stopped the fox, you know, the fifth radicalized the medical ninja world. Why does nobody know that Naruto?
Kakashi, you would say, is sort of like the peacemaker.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but I'm just saying, Naruto saved the world. Like he should be like in trivia. He should be like in video games.
Him and Sasuke should be the hero who saved the world.
Yeah, they're basically
Yeah.
Hokage at this
No,
point.
I'm saying it should be on a test. It should be a quiz. What was Naruto's favorite jutsu to use in battle? Like
Yeah,
people should
Sengun!
know what this guy did, and
But
nobody.
that's also a big problem in the Naruto universe. Nobody knows their history.
No, but I'm saying in
And
Naruto
they've
it
never-
works fine.
And in a world, and to prove your point, in a world where the world became a mess, the mess that it became was because nobody knew their history. The fact that nobody's making an effort to make sure people remember is a
Nobody.
big problem.
Why is Sasuke not leading lectures on the Uchiha massacre?
We clearly
Why
need
is
Bruh.
also need
why is
another
Naruto and Sasuke not leading lectures about Ashura and Indra?
No,
Yeah, you should.
Before we even
Oh.
get there,
Hey guys, there's
Jinchuriki.
aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jinchuriki. Oh, just lectures on there's aliens for some reason. They're trying to take over the
it's
I'll
like-
never get over that.
trying to
I'm
forget that
It's
alien.
sorry.
Warhammer
It's-
40k all over again. We must keep the existence of chaos a secret. Why?
And I
No.
blame all of them. The third did it because now we're not allowed to talk about the fourth. I mean, why was everybody acting like, in the beginning of Naruto, everyone's acting like Naruto's not the
the
Jinchuriki.
fourth child.
The
No,
fourth child.
he's
Like
the-
the whole... He looks like him.
I mean, again, they did the backstory behind that, and it's like filled in like in a data book or something. Is that
Danzo.
what's his face? Danzo basically told the village that this is the boy that destroyed everything, and he can turn into the fox
That's
and
also
whatever.
another reason why what's the Hidden Leaf Village? It's the worst village in the world.
Yeah,
Who
it is.
looks at Danzo and is like, I'm gonna believe this guy?
Like, I'm gonna believe this.
He looks like a reliable nigga.
Oh, Danzo.
It's more reliable than the third.
No, but like what I'm saying is that he was homies with the third. He's been
Yeah,
there.
he was trained by the second.
and
We all know how he felt about the Uchiha.
So I'm just saying, Danzo
Yeah, no,
in
you're right.
particular, he manipulated events so that everybody hated Naruto.
For me, that's like the whole Itachi thing being retconned. It's like, no, we're not buying this. Like, Itachi is a villain. Let's be honest. You can hate me all you want. Come at me, niggas.
Wanna-
Itachi is a villain.
No, Itachi
He
is
was
a
like,
villain.
he was 13. Dude's balls barely dropped, and he had to make a decision between his clan and the Leaf Village. Like,
He's a villain.
Itachi is a villain. You
I-
straight
I
up
would-
got there, put two people in a coma, and then
No,
left.
but
That's how we.
but I'm saying that the Uchiha were literally planning a rebellion that no one would be able to stop. Like, if the Uchiha decided that the Leaf is gonna burn,
Okay, I get that. Are you telling me that they stopped having babies when Sasuke was born?
the Uchiha, there was no one left.
No. I'm saying after Sasuke, Sasuke is the only one who survived, right?
Yeah.
Right. If Sasuke is the only one who survived because he was protected by Itachi, it means he killed everyone else, including the babies.
Yes. Order 66.
Okay.
So
What
I-
I'm saying though,
He was killing younglings.
He
what
killed
I'm saying though is that if the Uchiha as a whole clan decided that the Leaf Village is gone tomorrow, that was it. And we need to remember we're coming from the world of the third ninja war and everything. So killing kids is not something that was foreign in the ninja world.
I agree with that analogy entirely. I'm just saying,
Retcon.
a baby is innocent. It did not know what was right or what was wrong.
Hey, I'm saying Itachi was 13.
Wait, dude.
Can you remember yourself at 13?
Were you not the guy who was hating on Anakin like an hour ago? And now Itachi
Yes,
is the same
okay,
person.
hold on. Anakin was a grown man. One. Anakin was a grown man.
From my
one.
perspective, Konoha's evil.
Yes.
From my perspective,
Wait, how old was
No, I'm just saying. Okay.
Itachi,
No,
you're breaking my heart.
Hey, whoa. First and foremost, Anakin was a grown man.
Itachi wasn't.
No, he was 13. He was barely he was a teenager.
In Konoha rules, that's
But
50.
don't act
Come
like
on now.
Itachi was an idiot. Itachi was one of the smartest ninjas of all time. He
You
was a-
can be smart,
Yeah.
but that doesn't change the fact
only
that you're
person who was
emotionally
smarter than
immature.
Itachi
What do
was
you mean?
Minato.
He was. What are you saying? He's 13. He already murdered his best friend, stolen people's eyes, killed
He was
people in the
already
Anbu.
Jonin.
He's a grown ass man, bro.
But I'm saying you need to remember there's Danzo in his ear, and the third is not doing anything.
And my argument is, if Anakin is painted as a villain for slaughtering children, why are we giving Itachi a free pass?
No, because Itachi was the motivations is different.
But
It's exactly the same.
No,
It's the same thing.
no,
Wait,
it's
but-
not. Hold
but
on.
Danzo is basically Palpatine in the situation.
thank
It's the
you.
same thing.
Danzo is Palpatine, bro.
Yeah, I'm saying, but let's look at this. Itachi is saving a village, right?
Isn't
Not
Anakin
saying that
saving
the
a
method-
republic?
No, he's not saving anything.
He is.
No, remember, Palpatine promises him that Padme will survive.
But he's also
because if he goes to the dark
I am
side.
restoring peace to my empire.
Yes.
No,
That's
he's
what-
not, because when we look
That's
at
what
when
he said.
Palpatine takes over, there's nothing that happens that transpires as peaceful afterwards. With the Uchiha massacre, the village manages to stand the test of time until somebody comes in that's
But you do
willing to do
realize
the
Anakin
job.
sees everybody else against Palpatine as a rebellion.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'm saying that when Itachi's doing it, he's weighing the lives of the village versus the lives of his clan.
So
It's
Anakin
messed
is
up.
seeing peace in the republic.
No, but
Palpatine
Palpatine has never done anything to show that he was about peace.
Whether we're gonna do Naruto on this
Ish,
one or
yeah, you know what?
whether we should do it on the other podcast. But I think it's on my list of things that we need to
Okay, you know what? Naruto, we should give you Naruto, because this is gonna be good.
Give me Naruto and Bleach, and then we can do other stuff.
Okay, cool.
I'll come up with my Itachi defense piece.
But I'm
in the
sorry.
meantime.
Anakin.
For me, Itachi is even worse, because this is Itachi. This is Itachi. You're holding a baby. Oh, poor little Uchiha baby. Yeet.
You're not Sasuke, so I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least if I would understand that he wiped out all the adults, or everybody that's apart from Sasuke, everybody that's not in the crib, then I'd say okay, he was
The
just doing
women
it.
and children. If he didn't kill the women and children,
But then the women and children also have Sharingans. And they're also mad at the third Hokage and Danzo and want
That's
to
why I
destroy
said
the
the baby.
From
village.
my perspective,
Hence, I said the baby.
that's all I hear. From my perspective, you are
You could
evil.
have just taken the Uchiha baby into an orphanage, and the child would have grown up.
My argument is that he's a 13-year-old kid being manipulated by a 40-year-old man, and there's another
Anakin?
40-year-old man
That's
not
you?
doing anything.
Yeah.
Hey, Anakin
Sounds like
was
Anakin.
grown. Anakin was grown. And
Anakin was
Palpatine,
groomed.
I'm saying, no, and Palpatine was literally firing lightning and had an evil, thing
And
going on.
let's not forget, Anakin was busy being whispered to in his ear since he was a kid.
No, but not by Palpatine.
By Palpatine.
By
Literally says,
Palpatine.
I'll be watching your career with great interest.
yeah.
And then part 2,
Yeah.
he's having personal meetings with Palpatine. At that age, he's still a Padawan learner. But there he is, listening to Palpatine telling him, is like, you're going to be the greatest Jedi of all time. Even more powerful than Master Yoda.
Okay, wait. So your argument, sorry, just to refresh, is that Itachi is not a villain; he's a hero.
No,
I think
I'm not.
if
what
you
I'm
have
saying
to
is,
defend it, I would love to continue this conversation another time.
Guys,
but that's what you're saying.
what I'm
Guys,
saying is
Yeah, but
that
just
Itachi
leave
was
this.
caught
Just
between a
leave
rock
it.
and a
We're gonna
hard
get to
place.
4 hours. It's fine.
Guys, we have got to already. We're gonna have to cut this into 2 parts. I'm definitely doing this into 2 parts now, because
Okay,
there's no way.
sorry.
There's no way.
Sorry. My only defense is that Itachi was caught between a rock and a hard place, and he's 13 years
Let's
old.
close
That's-
up for
that's
now.
it.
Here we go. Here we are at the end. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. How you laughed this long.
Hey, anyone
Thanks
who's
for your
here
comments. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you the good news. We passed 1,000 views. Yay! I was freaking out the other day. So thanks for watching. Thanks for your comments. Keep spreading us like herpes, like I asked before. I know you guys are doing your level best. Next week, I think. after a couple of weeks, we're going to continue with the story with, I think, going to be our Kung Fu movies podcast. It's going to be a lot of fun. And there are a lot of things that I also want to add up. Please put in the comments things that you want to take in, things that you want to add, things you want us to talk about, any ideas that you have. There is no wrong answer apart from hating Code Geass, because I will come for you. And and yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Peace.